Hello everybody, today we are going to learn about a new and interesting chapter, that is wind, storms and cyclones. So let us learn about this chapter in detail. Let us start with the mind map for the chapter. Wind, storm and cyclones. So I hope you all are having some information, some knowledge about wind, storm and cyclones. So let us learn. What do you mean by wind? The moving air is called wind. The moving air is called wind. And then what do you mean by storm? Air when moves with high speed is called as storm. Air when moves with high speed is called storm. And then cyclones. What do you mean by cyclones? Powerful circular storm is said to be as cyclones. So we are going to learn about wind, storm and cyclones in detail in this chapter. So first about air pressure. Air pressure. What do you mean by air pressure? High speed wind which causes reduced pressure, is called as air pressure. Okay. So along with air pressure, we are also going to learn about characteristics of wind and then wind direction. Clear? Next thing is about tornado. What do you mean by tornado? Tornado is nothing but the twisting funnel, a twisting funnel of violently spinning wind. A twisting funnel of violently spinning wind with its narrow end towards the land. That is called as tornado. Clear? Yes, we are going to learn about tornado in detail. Then formation of cyclones. Formation of cyclones, forecasting and warning. Okay, and then we are also going to learn about safety measures. So let us start the chapter. Yes children, now let us start the chapter wind, storm and cyclones. So we all know that natural resources such as air, water, wind and light, all these things are essential for our survival, isn't it? Yes. So when these resources are either in excess amount or else in deficit amount, it will be the biggest destroyer. It can also be the biggest destroyer of life, isn't it? Yes. So for example, heavy rain causes flood. So what is this heavy rain? When this resources are in excess amount, isn't it? Yes. Else lack of rain. If there is lack of rain, it leads to drought, isn't it? Yes. So now let us learn about first wind. What do you mean by wind? There is a difference in between air and wind, isn't it? Yes. The moving air is called wind. The moving air is called wind. Air when moves with high speed, when the air moves with high speed, that is called as storm. Okay. So a storm may be devastating. What is this devastating? It means great damage. A storm may be devastating in nature, causing severe damage to its force and due to its force and strength. I repeat, a storm may be devastating, means great damage. Okay, in nature causing severe damage due to its force and strength. Okay. So, next term is thunderstorm. Thunderstorm. What is this thunderstorm? It's generally accompanied by thunder and lightning during monsoon. Okay. So then, what causes wind? What causes wind? Wind is caused by the uneven heating of the earth's surface. By the uneven heating of the earth's surface, by the heat of the sun. It receives the heat of the sun and it gets heated in an uneven manner. Okay. So due to the earth's tilt, it receives uneven amount of heat. Different regions of earth's surface receive different amount of heat. Different regions of earth's surface receive different amount of heat. Okay. Then thus the temperature of earth's surface near the equator is more than that near the geographic poles of the earth. So what they are telling, near the equator the earth's heat, the temperature will be more. Okay. As a result, air near the equator gets warmer than the air in the polar region. So because of this, the air near the equator gets warmer than the air in the polar region. Clear, children? Yes. Yes, children. Thus, the air near the equator gets warmer than the air near the ends. Isn't it? Yes. So, the hot air being lighter than the cold air expands and rises up. So, the hot air expands and rises up. Clear? The cool air moves from the nearby region to occupy the vacant space near the region of hot air. Hence, so the cool air is occupying the region of hot air. Hot air is rising up. Okay. Hence, an air current sets up and air begins to move from one place to another. That is why hot air rises up, cool air is moving from one place and it is occupying the place of hot air. Okay. So, here it is moving from one place to another. Clear? Thus, wind is caused due to temperature difference between different regions. Clear? Then, during the summer season, in northern hemisphere, the land becomes very hot. As compared to oceans. Land becomes very hot. So, what happens? The hot air which is present over the land, the hot air above the land rises up and moist air above the oceans. So, from the land the hot air rises up and the moist air from the oceans will move to the above the land. Okay. Moist air above the ocean begins to blow towards the land. This moist and cooler rain-bearing winds move from Arabian Sea to Bay of Bengal and bring heavy rainfall in almost all parts of India. Clear? Then, during winter season, so these all will happen in summer season. During winter season, dry and cold winds blow from colder northwestern region of land to the ocean. Okay. These winds cause rain. It will cause rain in the coastal Tamil Nadu. Okay. So these winds are called winter monsoon winds. These winds are called winter monsoon winds. Clear, children? Yes. Yes, children. Now let us learn about air pressure. Air pressure. So what do you mean by air pressure? Air is a mixture of several gases. Hope you all know air is a mixture of several gases. So when air is confined in a container like balloon or football, the molecules, air which is present inside the balloon or football, within that the molecules collide with each other. The air molecules will collide with each other. The collision of these molecules exert a force on the area of wall. I repeat, the collision of these molecules exert a force. It will give out a force on the area of wall. This pressure is called air pressure. This pressure is called air pressure. So within the air molecules, a collision is taking place and it exerts a force on the wall, and that is said to be as air pressure. Clear, children? Yes. Then Earth is surrounded by a blanket of air. Earth is surrounded by a blanket of air, that is atmosphere. Okay. The weight of air in our atmosphere exerts pressure. The weight of air in the atmosphere, it will give out a pressure. This air pressure is called atmospheric pressure. This pressure is called atmospheric pressure. Clear, children? Yes. Now let us learn about factors affecting air pressure. Factors affecting air pressure. So first, altitude, height. Okay. The air pressure decreases as we move upwards. The air pressure decreases as we move upwards from the surface of Earth. Why it is getting decreased? This is because the number of air molecules get reduced at higher altitude, which in turn reduces atmospheric pressure. So in higher altitude, the number of air molecules get reduced, and that will in turn reduce the atmospheric pressure. Clear, children? Yes. Next thing is about temperature. Next factor is about temperature. When the temperature increases, when it gets increased, air expands. Automatically heat will be liberated, isn't it? So air expands and air pressure decreases. Air expands and air pressure decreases. When the temperature increases, air pressure decreases. Clear, children? Yes. When the temperature decreases, when the temperature is getting decreased, air contracts. What will happen? Air contracts and the air pressure increases. Okay, so when temperature decreases, air pressure increases. Clear? Then water vapor. Next factor is about water vapor. So what is this? When the humidity is high, we are going to learn about the air pressure in water vapor. When the humidity is high, the air pressure is less. When the humidity is high, the air pressure is less. What do you mean by humidity? Moist air, isn't it? Yes. The moist air is less dense than dry air, isn't it? Moist air is less dense than dry air, due to which it exerts less air pressure. So the moist air will give you out less air pressure than dry air when you are comparing with dry air. Okay. High speed. So in total, high speed wind causes reduced pressure. high speed wind causes reduced pressure. Okay. Yes children. Yes children. Now we are going to do one activity. So this activity is about high speed wind causes reduced pressure. Clear? Yes. Now I am having a bottle which has narrow neck and a piece of paper which is crumbled into a ball. So I am just keeping the paper in the neck of the bottle. So what I am going to do? I am going to blow air over the paper with high speed. So what happens? So let us watch. Okay. It's coming out, isn't it? So the air what I blow will go inside and it will create a low pressure in the bottle neck. It will create a low pressure. So that makes the paper push out. It is pushed down. The air is the paper is pushed down. Okay. So that's what high speed wind causes reduced pressure. Clear children? Yes. Children, now let us learn about moving air and lift. Okay. Moving air reduces the air pressure. Moving air reduces the air pressure. When air blows over or below an object, when air blows over or below an object, air pressure gets reduced either over or below the area of the object. So it creates a low pressure in that area. Therefore, a pressure difference is created. A pressure difference is created and it provides a lift. What will happen? It provides a lift and moves the object from low pressure area to high pressure. Moves the object from low pressure area to high pressure. Clear children? Yes. Now children, an activity for you all. Okay. So what are you going to do? Hold a strip of paper. Hold a strip of paper which is approximately 20 centimeter long. Okay. With your hand just below your mouth. With your hand just below your mouth. Then blow air over at the paper. Over at the paper. So what happens? The strip of the paper begins to move up. When you are blowing air over the paper, the strip of the paper starts to move up. When you blow air over the paper, why it moves up? What happens there? When you blow the air over the paper, it reduces the air pressure in the area just above the paper. It reduces the air pressure. So a low pressure is created. Okay. So the air pressure below the paper, not above, below the paper is now greater than that over the paper. Since there is a low pressure below the paper, the air pressure will be more than the paper over the paper. Clear? So it provides the paper a lift. That's why it provides a lift. Okay, which causes it to move up. Clear children? So this is what about the activity. Try, do it and learn about it. Children, now let us learn about characteristics of wind. Okay. So wind has two characteristics. What are they? Wind speed and wind direction. Wind speed and wind direction. So now let us learn about wind speed. So what do you mean by wind speed? The wind speed is measured by an instrument. We can measure the wind speed by an instrument called as anemometer. Anemometer. Clear? Then, so how it will be? How about the instrument? It consists of 3 or 4 cups mounted on a rod. 3 or 4 cups mounted on a rod that can rotate freely on its axis. So, this cups will freely rotate. Okay. The greater the speed of the wind, the faster the cups rotate the rod. So, if the speed is increased, the cups will rotate fastly. Okay. A scale placed at the bottom of anemometer, records the wind speed. They have a scale, so it records the wind speed in a desired unit of measurement. Clear, children? So, this is what about wind speed. Now, children, you can see the picture for weather vane. What is this weather vane? So, now we are going to learn about the second characteristics of wind, that is wind direction. So, the direction of a wind at a place can be found by an instrument, by using an instrument called weather vane or wind vane. So, this is the weather vane. Okay. So, what it has? You can see north, south, west, east direction. You can see an arrow mark here, isn't it? Yes. So, how it works? The arrow shaped vane is mounted at its center. You can see here, the arrow shaped vane is mounted at its center to move freely about its vertical axis. Now, what happens when the wind is sufficiently strong? The arrow aligns itself such that its tip point towards the direction of the wind. So, based on the force of wind, the tip of the arrow will show the direction. So, there are 4 directions: north, south, west and east. All these 4 are marked on the wind vane, isn't it? Yes. Now, according to the force of wind, it will show one direction. So, this is the instrument which shows the wind direction. That is what? Weather vane or wind vane. Clear, children? Yes. Children, now let us learn about thunderstorm. Okay. So, what do you mean by thunderstorm? Thunderstorms or storms accompanied by thunder, lightning and heavy rains. When you will get this? Thunder, lightning and heavy rains. So, let us learn about that. The heat of the sun in the tropical region heats up the air near the earth's surface. What I said? The heat of the sun in the tropical region heats up the air in the earth's surface. It will heat the air. So, thus this hot air rises up. What happens? This hot air rises up. Then the water vapor present in the air due to humidity also rises up along with hot air. So, along with this hot air, the water vapor will also rise up. Then, as water vapor reaches the upper layer of the atmosphere, as water vapor reaches the upper layer of the atmosphere, which is comparatively cooler than the earth's surface, it cools and condenses to form clouds. What happens? The water vapor reaches the upper layer of the atmosphere, and then this water vapor air will be cooler than the earth's surface. Okay, than the earth's surface, so that it will cool and condense to form clouds. Clear, children? Yes. The clouds of water vapor further cools to form water droplets. The clouds of water vapor further cools to form water droplets. So, that falls down towards the earth as rain, isn't it? Yes, in the form of rain. What do you mean by collision? During collision between two molecules. What are the two molecules? Air molecules from the earth and air molecules from the water vapor. So, during collision, the friction between them causes the clouds to get electrically charged. So when there is a collision between these two air molecules, what happened? It causes the clouds to get electrically charged. Okay. So when the charged clouds get discharged, when the already charged clouds is there, so when it is getting discharged, they produce huge sparks. They produce huge sparks. So that's what these sparks are seen in the form of lightning. That's what lightning. Okay. So the lightning rapidly heats the air in its path. Rapidly heats the air in its path. That results in a loud sound. That's what thunder. That's what we are hearing as, that is heard as thunder. That is heard as thunder. So that is the reason why lightning is generally accompanied by thunder. That's why we are getting lightning along with thunder. So be safe when you are hearing thunder. Avoid using mobile phones when you are there outside during thunder and lightning and all. Clear, children? Yes. Now children, let us learn about cyclone. Let us learn about cyclone. So what do you mean by cyclone? Powerful cyclones, circular storms or cyclones. Powerful circular storms or cyclones. Powerful circular storms that are formed over low pressure areas. That are formed over low pressure area are known as cyclones. They are known as cyclones. They are also known as hurricanes or else typhoons. Typhoons. Okay. A cyclone develops at the center of low pressure area. Where it starts? At the center of low pressure area. Clear? The center of a cyclone is called as eye. The center of the cyclone is called as eye. The diameter of the eye can be around 10 to 30 kilometer. Can be around 10 to 30 kilometer. At the eye, there is no rain and clouds. So the center point, there won't be any rain or clouds. The eye is surrounded by, thick clouds and thunderstorms. It is surrounded by thick clouds and thunderstorms accompanied by heavy rain. Heavy rain will also be there. Approximately wind speed, which is 150 to 250 kilometer per hour, will move in circles, the wind speed will move in circle around the eye. That's what about cyclone. Clear, children? Yes. Now children, let us learn about formation of cyclones. Formation of cyclones. So how cyclones are formed? The sun heats increase the rate of evaporation at the water from the water bodies such as seas and ocean. In all these things, water will be there. So the sun increases the rate of evaporation and heat energy will be released out, isn't it? Yes. So this creates a low pressure. A heat air will be there. So automatically it will expand and rise up. So there a low pressure will be created. Clear? The water vapor rises up. So the water vapor which is coming out from the water bodies rises up and reaches the colder regions of atmosphere. It rises up and will reach the colder region of atmosphere. Clear? On reaching the colder region, the vapor releases heat. So when it reaches the colder region, the hot air or the water vapor will release the heat and condenses to set up the formation of thunder. So that it condenses to form thunder. That's what storms here. That's what storms. The surrounding air being warm, which is being warm further rises up in the atmosphere. Okay, surrounding air which is warm will also rises up, means will also get heated and then it is getting expanded and rised up in the atmosphere. This creates a low pressure area which causes more air to rush towards this low pressure area. Clear? Which causes more air to rush towards the low pressure area. This process of creating low pressure area is repeated several times. So, this is how they are creating the low pressure area, and this process will repeat several times, okay, which pushes air to move up higher in the atmosphere. So, air is pushed up, it is getting expanded, heated, expanded, it is pushed up in the atmosphere. However, due to rotation of earth, the air moves up in a spiraling pattern. The air will also move in a spiraling pattern with low pressure area at its center. Air starts moving in a spiraling pattern with low pressure area at its center. Low pressure will be there at its center. Clear? So, therefore, a cyclone develops when low pressure area in the center is surrounded by high speed winds. Low pressure area in the center is surrounded by high speed winds accompanied by thunderstorm, which is joined together with thunder. Clear? High pressure, high speed wind along with thunder, which is surrounded by a low pressure area, creates the cyclone. Can you understand? Yes, that is what about the formation of cyclones. Yes children, now let us learn about forecasting and warning. Current technology has enabled us to predict the possibility of occurrence of cyclones. We are able to predict earlier, isn't it? Yes, we are having some current technologies. With the help of satellites and cyclone detection radars, the meteorological department can locate and track an approaching cyclone and issue a cyclone alert. We are able to track and find out earlier. Okay, that's why we are getting a cyclone alert or cyclone watch 48 hours in advance. 48 hours in advance, we are able to know about that and we are getting a cyclone alert. Okay, so for that we are having some current technology. So that's what about forecasting and warning. Yes children, now about the last part of the chapter, that is tornado. Okay, so what do you mean by tornado? It's a twisting funnel of violently spinning wind. Violently spinning wind with its narrow end towards the land. Narrow end is towards the land. That is called as tornado. Okay, it is called as tornado. It's formed when a column of cold air funnel like shape sinks from a storm cloud. Sinks from a storm cloud. Okay, it's formed when a column of cold air funnel like shape sinks from a storm cloud. The air from the earth's surface rises up. So, what happens from the earth's surface? The air rises up and starts revolving the cold air, this cold air column at a very high speed. What I said, the air from the earth's surface rises up and it starts revolving the cold air column with a very high speed. Clear? So, it can reach up to 500 km per hour. So, in this speed it will reach 500 km within 1 hour. Okay. So, the funnel like structure of a tornado, engulfs everything that comes in its way, including cars, buses, trees, huts or even small houses. It will engulf within themselves. Clear? So, generally tornadoes are short-lived. They are short-lived and do not move beyond 20 km. They do not move beyond 20 km. Clear children? Yes. This is what about the last part of the chapter, tornado. So, children, with this we have come to an end of this chapter. So, learn and practice well. Thank you all. We will meet in the next session.